What's up, my fellow binge travelers? A ton of Disney news was just announced, including an all-new castle, the Star Wars Hotel, and a completely classic ride being completely overhauled. Let's get into the video. Before we talk about the all-new castle and the major changes coming to Epcot, let's talk about Target. Disney has announced it will be rolling out 25 new Disney stores inside of Targets, possibly near you. I know that wasn't some major Disney news, so let's move on to something more exciting, like Disney Cruise Line. And don't worry, we'll only be on this for a second, then we'll get to the new castle. Disney Cruise Line is expanding its fleet of ships. The new cruise ship is the Disney Wish and will set sail in 2022. The only details we know about the cruise ship is that Rapunzel will be on the back and that it's called the Disney Wish. And we also know about a new island similar to Castaway Cay, but this one is called Lighthouse Point and will be created by the same person who created Avatar. So that's pretty interesting. Let's quickly move on to Disneyland, where Disney announced an all-new nighttime parade, along with a new Marvel land called Avengers Campus, with an all-new Spider-Man ride similar to the Toy Story rides from the looks of the pictures. Now, it looks like you're slinging your web shooters as you would do in Toy Story Mania. It looks pretty interesting, but pretty similar to a ride we already have. There's also a Phase 2, which will be opening late in 2023. From the photos, it looks like we'll be flying around Wakanda from a jetpack, which looks pretty neat. Most likely, this will be a simulator ride, sort of like Avatar Flight of Passage, or Star Tours, or any of those types of rides, simulator, along with the Star Wars ride. So I wish Disney would go in a different direction with their rides. A lot of the new rides have been screen oriented, where you're just looking at a screen. I would like to see Disney come up with some new ideas. Even the Guardians coaster, it's all screens, all new tech, but still, you're looking at a screen and it's just not the same as real life, in my opinion. But maybe that's the way of the future, and Disney knows best. Alright, let's get to the meat of this video, Disney World. And let's start off with the Runaway Railway. A tongue twister right there. All we know about the opening for this ride is that it will be opening sometime next year. Disney hasn't really announced much on this ride. It was supposed to open back in 2017, but delays have been a really harsh factor. It's an all-new ride system, a trackless system, and since we don't know much about this ride, let's go ahead and move to something else. That's something else being Disney Genie, an all-new app from Disney designed to plan vacations for you. And this is a very interesting concept. If you've heard of touring plans before, they basically do the same thing. It's a paid service where you can go and get a customized plan for you to go to Disney World. Now, planning my Disney World vacation is honestly one of my favorite parts, so I probably won't be using this service unless you guys want me to, because I will do anything for my YouTube subscribers, including smashing that like button, because you should definitely do that too. But regardless, Disney Genie is supposed to help more people plan their trips to Disney World, which is essentially what I do, so hopefully this thing doesn't put me out of business. Also, it's most likely AI, so hit that subscribe button if you don't want AI to put me out of a job. I'm just kidding, hopefully that won't happen, but you can go ahead and tap that subscribe button regardless. Now let's scooch on over to Disney Springs. We all love Disney Springs, it's the best shopping center around, and it's the best place for Disney to suck up all my money. But other than that, there's a new show coming to Disney Springs. In fact, it's an all-new Circus Soleil show, and this is pretty exciting because I didn't get to see the old one, so I'd be very interested to see this new one and see what they come up with. No details regarding the show have been announced, of course, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens, and I'll keep you guys posted. Of course, we're gonna get to the all-new castle and the all-new rides coming to Epcot. But first, let's talk about the all-new Disney hotel called River Country. And as you can see in the picture, it has a nice country aesthetic with Bambi out front, and it will also have a Princess and the Frog themed restaurant. Perhaps it's something similar to the Disney Fantasy, which also has a Princess and the Frog themed restaurant. We actually went to this restaurant, and if you're interested, click the card above to see our adventure on the Disney Cruise Line. Speaking of hotels, let's talk about the all-new Star Wars hotel coming to Hollywood Studios. Now, this really isn't even a hotel at all. It's more like a cruise ship. So you have the option to stay 2 nights, and you can only stay 2 nights. You can't stay 1 or 3 nights. You must stay 2 nights. Every guest room will have a view of space from its window, which will change as your journey continues and you explore new parts of the galaxy. We don't know exactly how many rooms will be on the Starship, but my guess is around 100, with a price range of about $1,000 to $2,000, and it could even go anywhere up to $3,000 to $4,000 per person. The new hotel will be called the official Star Wars Star Cruiser. And to enter your new Star Cruiser, you'll be taking a launch pod to your ship where you will stay for 2 days. The only time you get off the ship is when you visit Galaxy's Edge. And I assume it will be a full-on tour of Galaxy's Edge, and I hope you get to skip the lines. That would be pretty awesome. And I hope I get to experience this for you guys, and I will definitely record the entire thing. Don't you worry. Alright, are you ready for the Epcot overhaul? I don't know if I'm ready for the overhaul, but I sure am ready to talk about it. Let's go. Let's start off our Epcot overhaul with all new organization, with all new attractions coming to each. World Showcase and World Celebration have the most changes, so let's start off with World Nature. World Nature is getting an all-new water trail. This new water trail is inspired by Moana and will be an all-new water adventure. Nothing else really happens with World Nature, so let's move on to World Discovery, where we have an all-new space-themed restaurant. Space 2020 is the name of the all-new restaurant and will be an extension of Mission Space. You will be lifted up into space via elevator and have an all-new space-themed restaurant, where you can eat space-themed food while flying through the galaxy. There were deep rumors regarding a Brazil pavilion coming to Epcot. It was even rumored that Disney's made space for this Brazil pavilion, but they wanted Brazil to pay for it, and that never happened. So the Brazil is up in the air, whether it become a thing or not. But a few improvements were announced. We're getting an all-new Ratatouille ride in the France pavilion, and we're also getting a new ride in the UK pavilion with a Mary Poppins theme. This ride will most likely be a carousel from all the rumors, but hopefully it's something more than that. Jumping back to the France pavilion, there was also a new restaurant announced called La Crêperie de Paris. And you should rate my French accent in the comments below. An all-new nighttime spectacular is also coming to Epcot, with illuminations ending September 30th. And in 2020, we will have an all-new nighttime spectacular called Harmonious, featuring all of your favorite Disney characters, with an interim show filling in the spots between September 30th and Harmonious. We also have a little bit more information on the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster. First of all, we have a full name, and we know a little bit about the ride. The new coaster will be named Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and will be very similar to Rock and Roller Coaster. The coaster was actually meant to replace Rock and Roller Coaster a couple years ago, but that idea was eventually scrapped in favor of adding a new coaster to Epcot. The coaster follows a very similar blueprint to Rock and Roller Coaster, but instead of blasting off forward, you'll be blasting off backward, and that seems super scary to me. Alright guys, I have some breaking news regarding the future of Epcot. Cue the sad music. So Spaceship Earth is being overhauled. Please allow a moment of silence. That's right, your favorite classic Epcot attraction is being remodeled to fit characters into the storyline. Spaceship Earth will be going down for refurbishments in a couple months and could be closed up to 6 months to a year, but will definitely be done in time for the 50th anniversary. But it's not all bad, because they are installing a Walt Disney statue right behind Spaceship Earth to remember Walt Disney. And time for our final piece of news, the all-new Disney Castle. Now before you freak out too much, the all-new castle is in Hong Kong. That is all the news Disney has announced so far. These videos take a long time to make, so please leave a like if you enjoyed it. I also made a video on all the new Disney movies coming out until 2027, and I'll see you there.